In this video we'll be going over the C# video tutorials. So we'll be going over the ref and out keyword with parameters. So you saw in the last video, if you saw that, it's in the playlist. So in the previous video, the arrays are always passed by reference. So when you pass an array as an assignment, when you pass an array as an argument to a method, the method has direct access to the array through its parameter variable. However, the method cannot access the original reference variable. However, the method cannot access the original reference variable that was used to pass the array, so that this theory is kind of confusing. So we'll do an example. We'll do two examples. So we'll change array. Change array demo 1. So this is change array demo 1. So it shows the app's form just after the user. It's actually, so we'll do that. So we'll need a few things again. Kind of just setting up stuff here again. So could just use a design window because we've done this so many times. Well, actually forget it. So let's just go with the list box. So private list box. Private list box. We'll have a private. We'll call the list box output list box. So we'll say output list box here. So private list box, output list box, and then here we'll have a private go button. Private button. Well, then we'll call it go button. So then here in the constructor we'll instantiate two objects. We'll say output list box points to new list box, and we'll have go button points to new button. Well, here we'll say what else we need. We're just gonna have to set it up. The go so the go button will have it'll have an event handler, so we'll need that. So we'll just try to separate these into two things. So here we'll have output list box dot name points to output list box. Then here we'll have output list box dot size points to new size. How can we do this? Not sure if I have the right syntax for this. We can try it. Does that work? That seems to work. Okay, so output list box dot size points to new size. That's not something we did. Actually, we may have done it a while ago, like a couple of videos ago, like 10 videos ago. So output list box dot size points to new size. We could have the same thing for the size of the button. I don't think we need to do any more for a list box. For the go button here, we can say dot name points to the string go button. Here we can say go button dot size. What else do we need for this? Okay, so we'll just go with the size here. Size. Let's go 50 by 50. Go button dot size points to new size, passing in 50.50. Then here we can go button dot auto size points to true. Go button dot text points to go. Go button dot click. So go button.click. Go button.click points to go button.click, sorry, plus equals new event handler. Here we say go button underscore click. So underneath the constructor here, then we'll say private void go button underscore click. Takes parameter object sender. Call event args-e. This theme isn't too bad. I think it's the high contrast theme, which basically just takes was there another theme? I just want to see what it is. There's some other colors here. You got purple, green, yellow. If you just had a few more colors, I think it would be better. But it's okay. Let me just go here, settings. I'm just gonna see what theme it is. Just gonna check the theme real quick. So we have appearance and behavior. Appearance. The theme is high contrast. Okay, so this is ReSharper 2023. I think there's some updates, so the high contrast is a little bit different. You can edit those somehow. You can change the code for the colors. I will try to do that at some point. Okay, so now we have all this set up. We'll just have to add these to the control. So we'll go output list box dot. So we need a location too. So the location points to new point. So we'll go with 100 by 50. Then we'll go controls.add output list box. So then under that here we'll have controls. Sorry, we'll create a location for this too. So we'll say go button dot location points a new point. We'll pass in here. We'll try to go. We're going down, so we go with Y. Let's go with 150. We want to be. No, we want to be on the same. Okay, so X goes across. We want the same X. And for the Y point, then we want 100. So under Y, let's go with 200 then. We'll just try that, see how it looks. And we'll just add the control here. So controls.add go button. So then now in that method here, excuse me, so we'll have excuse me, so we'll have an array here again. Is this the? I think it's a similar code to last time. That's okay. So we'll have a local array here, int array numbers points to an initialization list, an array initialization list like that. Then here we'll have a for each loop. So first we'll create an int array, and then now we'll display the number arrays contents. Sorry, yes, a numbers arrays contents. So Well, actually, first we'll have we'll call the output list box dot items dot add the arrays the array starting contents sorry, so you know what, let me just check how that's working first, so we'll just test that. So I'm just going to click the run button here, or you could type the command in the terminal to run it. It's just setting up. Okay, so the button is not far down enough. So we'll go to the button location. We'll try to go with 300 here. Save it and then run. Oops, I clicked something. No, there we go. It's not exactly centered. You could play with the numbers so you get it centered, or you could use a layout, which would take some time too, so we'll do the layouts later. If we click the button, something happened there. It's not done yet. So we'll just stop that. Okay, so we'll go back to the event handler. So at this point, every time we click the button, it just adds this string to the list box. So here we'll have for each int value in numbers. Let's go with val. So for each int val in numbers, and we'll open up a block, and we'll say output list box. So output list box dot items dot add. Then we'll add in val. So we've gone over this. It's going to iterate from 0 to the number of elements minus 1. Every time it iterates, instead of a for loop, so a for each loop, so val points to each index in the array. And so in the first iteration, val points to 1. The list box calls its items property to the add method, and then passes in the parameter, which is val, and adds that to the list box, and that continues to iterate till the end of the array. So we're going to need a method here called private void change array. So I don't think they use the ref keyword here yet. There's going to be an explanation here. So I think there's 2 to 3 parts to this. So we'll call here private void change array. Here we'll call int array. We'll just say it takes in what call I array. We'll open a block. Then down here we'll say constant int size. Actually, sorry, we'll say new size. So constant int new size points to 5. Then we'll say I array points to new int, taking the array size as new size. So whatever array is passed, that's just going to be called as I array. Then I array is going to point to a new int. Sorry, it's going to point to, yeah, so it's going to instantiate a new array, passing in new size as the size. So notice the object reference variable is actually coming through the parameter, which is then instantiated into an array. So sorry to set the mic. Then here we'll have we'll use a normal for loop. We'll say for index points to 0. So we'll say int index points to 0. Index is less than I array dot length. Index plus plus. We'll say I array of array index points to. We could just change the value to excuse me, some number here that says 100, or just points to 100. Okay, so we'll go back up, call this method. So we'll call the method change array after this for each loop. So we'll say change array. We'll pass in numbers. Underneath that we'll say for each. We'll say int val in numbers again. Then here we'll say output listbox dot items dot add. We'll pass in val. So now it's going to change all the array values to 100, which initially was 1, 2, 3. So in the last one we changed them to 0. This time we're just changing them to 100. I think we're going to find out why here in a sec. So we have for each. Yeah, so that's everything. Excuse me. So we have here, so the go button underscore click event handler creates an int array named numbers, initialized with the value 1, 2, 3. The array's contents in the output listbox control. So it displays the array's contents in the. So let's just make sure that this runs first. So let me just run this. Okay, so it runs. So it displays the array's contents in the output listbox control. So you can see the values 1, 2, 3. It calls the change array method, passing the numbers array as an argument. And it displays the contents of the numbers array in the output listbox control after the change array method has executed. So notice that the array's values are still 1, 2, 3. Apparently the method did not change the array. Okay. I can't actually see those numbers. Let me try to. I'll have to change the size of those. Actually, let's go with something here. If it's not changing the values, then pretty much it's probably because it's being passed. Like you'll have to probably name it the same name. So let me just change the size of those values so we can see it better, or you can see it better. So I'll go to the list box. Let's see. Let's go with output list box dot text. Let's go with font. Points to new font. We'll say output list box dot font family. Here we'll pass in a size. What's a good size? Let's just try 12. I'm not sure if that's the right syntax. Let me just double check my notes. Sorry. Where are my notes? Okay, so we have. So we're referencing output list box dot font points to new font. and we're calling output list box font family. Okay, so instead of this opening a parameter here with then passing the parameter into another parameter, then we just go, instead of doing that, you just go comma and then pass the size here. So try 12. Excuse me, so we'll just save that and run it. Okay, go. Still don't think this size is very good. Let's try to change that size to maybe like 20. Save it and run. Okay. So the values are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the values didn't change. So I believe because in C#, so perhaps the values didn't change because, what do we call this? We call the array, where's the array? What is that? Here we go. So we have so we have this method here, go button underscore click, so we instantiate our array here, numbers. We call change array passing in numbers. Okay, so let's just change this to numbers. Actually, let's call the array here iArray. Let's see if that helps us. Change this to iArray. In iArray here. Then here should be nope, sorry, 2 more here. iArray and this one iArray. Okay, save that, see if that works. I think with C# there's something to do with the, I guess that's the point of the ref keyword. Okay, so let's just go back to the example here. So we have, so if we look at the change array method, the method accepts an int array as an argument. The parameter variable name is iArray. Keep in mind that when we call this method inline, so in the line passing numbers as an argument, the iArray parameter and the numbers variable references the same array in memory. So then we declare a constant int new size set to the value 5. Oh, I think that's why. Okay, so I forgot what we did last time. So this creates a new int array in memory with 5 elements. A reference to the array is assigned to the iArray parameter variable. This causes the iArray parameter variable to no longer reference the array that was passed as an argument. Instead, the iArray parameter references a new array. The for loop in line 32 to 35 assigns value 99 to each element of array referenced by iArray. This does not affect the numbers array. So we did this last time without the ref keyword. I think because maybe we passed the array differently. So let me just go back to see what we did last time. I forgot. Okay. So we did set to 0. Here we go. Okay, so we just said, so instead, because we changed the size. Okay, I think that's why. So if we, so the name has no effect. But here instead, before, I think last time, so here we're trying to change the size. Whereas last time we just had an array parameter. I array, then we loop through it through the loop. So let's just try taking these let's take these lines of code out. What do we call this? Let's change this back to numbers. We'll change the array name back to numbers here. Change this back to numbers too. Okay, we'll save that and then run it. Oh, sorry, did we comment that? Yeah, we did, okay. So that should work now. There we go. So the reason why it didn't work is because we tried to change the size, so there's kind of like a glitch out with that. So this example is trying to explain why you can't do this. So constant int new size, we tried to change. Okay, so it's trying to change an array. It's trying to change the size here. So constant int size iArray. It's trying to take iArray, the old object reference variable, and point it to a new size. So basically you just can't do that. So the best thing to do would just be to create a new array and then point the array to those index values. So we'll probably do that soon. Let's just continue with this example here. So let's just see what else that these docs say. So I think you can use the ref or out keyword here to change them as well. So where were we? Okay. So when you use either the ref or out keywords with no array parameter for receiving the method, not only so the receiving method not only has access to the array, but it also has access to the reference variable that was used to pass the array, for example, the change array. So there's another example after this. So in the next lab, we'll be going over how to actually change those elements using the ref keyword or the out keyword, or both. Basically just how to change, basically doing this thing here, I believe. Trying to instantiate a new size. Oops, sorry, I just hit the mic. Trying to instantiate a new size with using the ref and out keyword. So if you guys like the tutorial, you can like and subscribe to support the channel for more programming and investing tutorials. In the next video, we'll be using the ref and out keyword to do this. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.